All right, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Tacos en Europa. I am Jorge, and we are back with.
My name is Edgar.
We're back with my name is Edgar over there. He's back from his trip over visiting the old continent over there, Europe. I'm sure he had a good time. What'd you bring us, man? What you got for us?
Well, as well as my collection of hats from all over Italy and one from Paris Saint Germain for some reason.
Hey, put it in the frame, man. Why you have it all over there?
It's all right in the corner.
Banished.
I got this little model of the San Siro Stadium from Milan. You can see all the way inside where the people get stabbed and everything. It's really cool.
That's just blood at the top, right? It's all blood.
Hopefully.
Yeah. A nice little momentum, man. Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back. Before we get started, though, I want to get just maybe like a minute, 2 minutes toss from you. Tell us, man, what did you think about that FIFA window right now with Jimmy Lozano and the Mexican national team?
Well, I'm glad this is the window that I missed, mostly because it seems it was kind of a letdown, right? Because as we were saying in the Spanish version, and even when we were talking about before when the call-ups came, with whatever little the national team has, it was missing a lot of it. We were missing both of our best wingers, Lozano and Tecatito. Mm-hmm. We were missing the best defender in the team, that's Montes. We were missing one of the decent right backs, that's Jorge Sanchez. And all of those are starters.
Yeah.
So we were... Luis Chavez, I didn't even mention that. He's also a starter. So there's a lot that we were missing. So that was kind of like... You can tell... The team was missing that, but also, it makes you fear a little that Jimmy Lozano is going to be Necaxa's Jimmy Lozano.
Yeah.
This guy that will play a youngster once, and if he doesn't play perfectly, he's going way in the back.
Way deep in the bench.
Yeah, he's going to prefer experience to youth and potential.
Yeah.
That I will not like. But
and we see that a little bit with that HH shout. You got talks of Jonathan Dos Santos even coming back. So
that's gonna be out.
I completely get what you're saying. I'm still on that mindset of giving him a little patience. But again, he could easily change my mind if he continues doing things in this manner. But let's go ahead and talk about what we're gonna talk about this week, which is the European football from this weekend. Let's go ahead and start with Raúl Gimenez versus Crystal Palace, a 0-0 tie where another game the same. It's just he plays well, but there's no end product at the end of the day. He has his nice little shot. He has a couple of dribbles here and there, but I just feel like the team just isn't really helping him out right below him.
Yeah, and the sun is hot. Same as always.
What else is new?
Yeah, it's been the same since Wolves. And you get it because he's in that kind of team that will create only 2 or 3 chances per game. But he used to put those away. Mm-hmm. He used to score that. And now he isn't. That's the problem. Maybe we're going to have to accept that he's not a killer striker anymore. He's a second striker.
Yeah.
Used to it, but I mean, we have to wait.
And who plays with 2 strikers anymore?
Yeah. Who?
Yeah. Who indeed? West Ham, Edson Alvarez. We have him against Liverpool. And we did miss the episode last week, but they did play against Manchester City. So you got 2 big games for Edson Alvarez right now in his debut season with the Premier League. And man, 2 big losses, 3-1 for both of these games. And obviously you can't blame a team like West Ham too much for losing these games, but I know you were a little hopeful that they would get this win today against Liverpool.
Yeah, I for starters, he played really, really well against City. He was a key part of keeping City out of the scoring board or stopping them from just rolling over them. And then he got not injured, but he needed to be subbed. Yeah. And as soon as he left the field, City just like roll over West Ham. That was the key change.
Yeah.
Like Edson missing, it was all over. And now you're playing against Liverpool, and it's not the same. You're playing well. You're even the first goal that Liverpool gets, it's a penalty, so it's not that easy for them. Still, I think Moyes misread the game. Apparently, he does that a lot against Liverpool because he has never won in Anfield. Like 25 games he has played there, and he has
Dang.
never won.
That's the
So
streak.
apparently, that's a big streak. So I think he misread. He went too aggressive against them. I think he should have played as they did against Brighton. You remember that they were just like making them go crazy and just striking them in counterattacks. I wish they had done that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe at home they'll be able to switch out this game plan a little bit. But let's move over to Spain and start talking about Real Betis and Andres Guardado versus Cadiz. It is a 1-1 tie, which is it's kind of bad to see this. You know, you have Betis who really should be beating these teams like Cadiz, and he does end up with that one key pass, 2 out of 2 long balls, 1 out of 2 crosses, and 2 out of 7 duels, which is not very much. And you were saying something about him in the other episode as well about like how we might be establishing ourselves more as a bench player 100% from now on.
Yeah, I was seeing the lineups that Betty has used, and it seems to me like Pellegrini is gonna stick to Guido Rodriguez and Marc Roca, and I mean it's fine. They're good players, and Guardado, he's 38, so
Yeah,
I get if you're gonna give him constantly 30-35 minutes per game, that's fine for
I'll
him.
take it.
He's in a good place with that, especially if he like if you use him correctly as Pellegrini has for the last like 4 years. I think it's a good place for him to be these closing games.
Yeah. Like we always say, more veteran presence than footballer nowadays, but it helps Betis, and hopefully they can get out of this dump, man, with all those injuries that they have. So hopefully they can get a little better.
Yeah.
Las Palmas, Julián Aranjo, their first win of the season. They win 1-0 against Granada. And we're able to see this just amazing Las Palmas team, man, that like I invite everybody to go out and watch Las Palmas game so they can see just how solid they are at the back, man. And I think this is a great opportunity for somebody like Julián Araujo, who's very deficient in the back, to really learn how to help the national team in that area. We have no fullbacks that can defend. And right here, I think this is a great environment for him to just kind of start working on that part of his game.
Yeah.
Have you seen how he sprints back, man, on those counters?
I was in. It's he's.
I didn't know he
He's
was that
being
fast.
more. Again, he's being more like intense than technical when defending, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
When you're just learning to defend at the level Las Palmas is playing now, that like La Liga is probably the second best league in the world, so it's fine for now. I hope
Yeah.
he improves because, I mean, he's looking really good. He's already a starter. That's great.
Yeah, undisputable.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go far, especially with this win is really important for them because not only is the first, but they were even like one player down. They were red carded, so that's
Yeah.
really good for them.
And we're able to come with the win. They're in 15th right now. Like I think they can stay. I think they can definitely stay in La Liga if they keep doing this stuff. My theory, and it's gonna be fun to look into this. I think they're gonna have like an average of like under 2 goals per game received.
Probably. I mean,
'Cause they're doing amazing.
Spain is not known for scoring a lot, like outside of Barcelona and Madrid. Yeah.
So if they can hold it down. I mean, those bottom teams though, they'll eat some goals. Those bottom teams. So these guys are doing pretty good, I think.
Yeah, when winning, you have to wait.
We'll have to wait, but let's see how it's going over with Montes in Almeria versus Valencia, which is a 2-2 tie. And I feel like we say this a lot. It's like the Raul Gimenez special here over here as well, where it's just kind of like the same thing over and over. They keep scoring on them, but it really isn't his fault, man. Like I think it's mostly he can't put his cape on. He can't put on that mask and really be a superhero in that moment to stop it. But it's not necessarily a mistake coming from his part that makes the goal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's the whole setup seemed a little bit efficient. Maybe they're going to change coaches. I don't know. It's still, my feeling is he doesn't know the system and the team yet. I see him and he's like trying to guess what his teammates is gonna are gonna do. I think that's where the big problem comes. But the first goal, he 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 was like in the picture and just standing there like defending against like three players and just like having to let the guy that scored play against the keeper alone because he couldn't lose his mark. So it was tough watching him.
Yeah, it was like a 50-50 chance that he had to take. And it's just like I just wish he could have gone to a big team. I don't understand how some of these teams couldn't like that needed him weren't looking into him, man. But I mean, at least he's not in the second division, and we'll have to see how this team is gonna develop. Real quick about Las Palmas, I was just looking into it. They have the least amount of goals conceded in the league right now after 6 games.
What?
They're tied with Athletic Club, 4 goals conceded.
Seriously?
Yeah.
They're higher than Madrid and Barcelona.
They both have 6.
And Las Palmas is 4. Oh man, you're right.
Crazy, right? I'm telling you, man. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on that. Real Sporting in the second division. We have Jordan Carrillo with the same problem as always. I'm just counting days till this coach gets the boot, man, because this is like probably the 4th loss in a row or non-win in a row. And Esteban Lozano hasn't gone in for the major team again, but he has scored a couple goals already in the third division for the second team in the Sporting. So we got a little something going on over there. I think he could be one to keep an eye on as well. But let's go ahead and move over to Italy. Start with Johan Vasquez versus Lecce with this 1-0 defeat, which kind of hurts Genoa because they've been doing great against the bigger teams. And you're going to come out here and lose these 3 points against Lecce. And they do all this with Johan Vasquez starting on the bench once again.
For some reason, because as soon as he gets in, they look better. Even one man down, they look better. And he's one of the best defenders. He's the only center back that's left-footed. I think the coach is taking like the experience of the players that know his system. He's giving it too much of weight when choosing the players. At the same time, he's not like keeping Johan away from the game. He's just preferring them. As soon as he has to, he puts him in. That's good. But he should be getting more because he's been playing great.
Yeah, every single time he comes in, even last game, he played well. I didn't expect him to come out the bench right now in this game. As a left back or as a center back, I think he's giving those plays that he came up with too much credit, like you say. I think he deserves that left center back spot, just straight up.
Maybe his reading was that Lecce is not gonna be as good defending, so you need fullbacks that will attack, and Johan is not that.
What about that left center back spot?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, well, we're not the coach over there yet. Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Salernitana, Memo Ochoa, first versus Torino this Monday. They have a 3-0 loss. He stops 0 balls, so that means they shot 3 times, they scored 3 times. And then today we have him against Frosinone, or yesterday, I believe, with a 1-1 tie. He did stop a couple, man, but I don't know. Since this window that just stopped with the national team, you kind of were able to see like a little bit of a slump. That's what we're gonna call it for now for Memo Ochoa, where he's kind of just like in a little bit of decline right now. He's gonna come out of it, maybe not.
Hopefully,
but he definitely there's no other way of putting it. Is he just looking bad right now? There's no other way of saying it.
Yeah, the goal, the first of all, Frosinone. You can if Salernitana wants to be like comfortable in the middle of the table, they need to win against Frosinone. They need to. And the goal they scored, it was a good shot. He could like, it's not his fault he didn't stop it. But you look at the jump he makes, the try to stop it. Oh, he doesn't look great, man. He looks like he couldn't jump right.
He was glued to the floor type stuff, man.
Yeah, he looked 38.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. And even the commentators were saying it during the game. It was like, all right, this man's like, he's showing his age. So that kind of got me worried that the little World Cup
Yeah,
vibe is like wearing
we're
off a
we're
little
not
bit.
used to listen to that
Yeah,
in since he came to Italy.
to Europe. Yeah, yeah. It was always like, oh, this man is ageless. This man can do this, can do it all. Superman, this and that. And now it's like, whoa, like take
Yeah,
whatever you were taking before, take it again.
yeah. I
Whatever.
mean,
El Cambuterol. ¿Cómo se llamaba?
no,
Feyenoord,
no, 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 no,
Santi
no, no, no.
Gimenez versus Ajax. 3-0 win. Can you call it that?
Not yet,
Not
not
yet.
yet, because the game was stopped because Ajax decided to burn down their stadium.
Straight up. It was
Yeah,
a
oh,
tantrum, bro. It was a straight up tantrum. Like you
yeah.
can't have another word.
That that they threw flares to the players, man. Not even just the field, the players. They were like the Feyenoord keeper was just running, doing like this.
Bro, the bus, like when they were trying to leave, there's literally a video of Santi Jimenez just kind of like show FaceTime with his girlfriend. You can see like all this, you can't even see the road. It's just smoke. And this man just kind of like worried for his life, just kind of trying to like get out of here. Like at any moment they can just break the
I mean,
windshield and
he
come in there, man.
he used to live in Mexico City. That's a Tuesday.
He, he knows what's up. He knows what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
Él sí se la sabe.
Pero el Azteca lo respetan, el Azteca lo
Eh,
respeta.
no, que se suben los de la, se la saben.
Ya se la sabe. That's why you said he knows. He knows. Oh, Napoli or PSV, Chucky Lozano against Almer City.
I mean, we didn't even mention that he scored twice
Two
and
goals and an
assist one.
assist from Santi Jimenez. Great game, man.
Yeah,
Great game.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, like we were saying, he literally made Ajax throw a tantrum in their own stadium. He literally
yeah.
made them all just quit. He
He,
made them rage quit.
Pacquiao, and Timber, they look like head and shoulders above anyone from Ajax.
Yeah.
Only those three, they were enough to break the whole defense from Ajax. It was amazing
I
watching them.
want to take back everything I said when we started the season, when I was saying that Feyenoord, they don't have what it takes yet, that they need time. They got it, man. They figure it out.
I mean,
Arne Slot.
especially because Ajax is a mess,
But in
and
general, like Santi
yeah,
Jimenez is the leading scorer in the Eredivisie right now. Like Feyenoord is just flying, bro.
I mean, who do you want it to be?
Chucky Lozano.
Bro, it has scored like -2 or something. Like, I mean,
-2. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, was Xavi Simons leaving? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I guess
Did that guy from AZ, he left or he stayed?
Dubika, something like that,
Something
the
like that.
Greek one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure, but I mean, Santi is like, oh,
He's
up
got
there.
he's gonna get it. He's got the 90 minutes now. He's got the starts. PSV Chucky Lozano Almer City 3-1 victory with a goal and the declared MVP of this match. What do you think though?
We are in disagreement about this because I think he did look like the MVP of the match,
Okay.
even though in numbers maybe it's not like clear. But I like what I saw of him with the ball. He seemed like the better player in the field,
Mm.
and he scored a goal. He created a lot. Even I mean, most of the crosses that weren't complete, it was because the striker or what whoever was on the other side of the cross wasn't in the proper place. Like it was a really good cross and almost connected.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like what I saw for him. I think he needs time because he seems like to not know who the other players are. Like he he just need time. And also PSV is a mess on the back.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
I just like
definitely is a mess on the back.
the midfield offensively was very strong. You always have those two goals from Veerman and Till. So I think the MVP was debatable. But Chucky Lozano did great. He got his goal, his first goal coming back, obviously. It's amazing to see. Something that I just thought of that I didn't say on the other one, which is true. Like he's coming back from very limited minutes with Napoli. So like
Yeah.
sometimes on the bench, sometimes on the 90. Like he didn't have a regular set time to play. So maybe we see him like consistently 90 minutes on the pitch. He can go back to being what we knew like he could be.
First, he needs to become that. He needs to, because
To actually become that.
they have really two decent wingers. Like Noah Lang, I think, and Bakayoko. They're good wingers. So he supposedly Lozano is not only better, but also like he can play different places. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play as a striker. So
Yeah.
he needs to become like the star of the team, like who the attack revolves around, who the system revolves around. I think he can, but he needs to win over the teammates and the coach.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing too. That he can literally be put on there and then rest the other two wingers, maybe even the young on one of these. You said something very interesting. Actually, I forgot to mention the other one as well. A 4-2-2 with Lozano on the left and the young on the right as strikers.
Yeah, it could work, but I mean, you
Four
need
four
good
two. Sorry.
midfielders for that.
Yeah, you need someone that can actually defend the
Yeah, and
ball.
you put Bierman and Shooter. I don't know what's the name of the other midfielder. You're gonna get killed on the counters.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting, because you can actually do stuff with Chucky Lozano. So hopefully that he can see that and be able to rest the other guys and not take away their minutes, but just rest the other guys every once in a while, man, because that's what they need. You have a lot of competitions in this season. But going over to Belgium with Gerardo Arteaga, man, against Sint-Truidense, it's a 3-3 tie. He is literally taken out at the 45. So he's not even coming in the second half. And it's just a bad game for him overall. Only 67% of the passes, but he does have a key pass and 1-out-of-1 cross and 1 out of 2 duels performed. So I don't want to say it was just bad, but it wasn't adding anything to the game here.
I don't want to say it was just bad, but it was bad.
I don't say it was bad, but it was terrible. But he just didn't add anything to the game, I believe.
Yeah,
It was just, something you don't want to see from somebody that you want to move up to a bigger league.
yeah. Parenthesis. Santi is not the goal scorer from the Eredivisie. It's a guy from AC Alkmaar called Vangelis Pavlidis. He's not the goal scorer from the last season. That was
What?
Dubicas, and he's played already on Vigo.
How many does he have?
7.
7. Oh, because he finished his game.
I mean, supposedly.
Yeah, the other guy, he has he has his 5 games played. So, dude, that's crazy.
He's having a good season.
Yeah.
Even Asset Alkmaar is decent team, but not usually. Like he doesn't produce the strikers.
So now I kind of want this game to be finished, man. They're supposed to replay it, right? Closed doors.
Just play the last 25 minutes
Yeah.
or whatever was missing.
Oh, damn, that's a fun fact right there. Then, so
Yeah.
the second leading scorer, correction, Santi Gimenez, and for Standard Liège, Jorge Huarcaba in the second team for Standard Liège, he's not even on the bench for this one for some reason. He had 2 games as a starter, and I don't know where I think he might be getting rested or might have a slight injury. We'll have to look up that for you guys. And Porto, Jorge Sanchez, we see nothing from him in the league, but we do see 15 minutes from him in the Champions League. Okay. Pretty solid right now. At least he didn't look bad in the Champions League.
Who you're talking about? Georgie?
Georgie,
You're
my
talking
bad.
about
Georgie.
Georgie?
The highlight of his week, that he had Georgie on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, he looked fine. He looked fine. He was cutting inside a lot. He was playing physically. I think he's gonna fit Porto. I don't think he's gonna play that much because one of the best players from Porto this season is Joao Mario, who is the right fullback. So we have to wait and see what's gonna happen. But I think he's gonna close a lot of games, and maybe if the other guy gets carded or injured, either way, Georgie is not gonna like shine a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll still hope for that change of position, that we were hoping for last
Yeah.
season. Let's go over to Greece now. AEK Athens, Panathinaikos is going to happen on Monday. So when you guys listen to this episode, that game is going to be playing. And we also have an amazing game in the Champions League. We have AEK
Yes.
Athens versus Brighton. Who do you think won that game?
I think Almeida kick the service ass completely.
Completely
3-2.
outcoached.
Yeah, 3-2, and the 2 goals Brighton scored were penalties.
Yeah.
Like
Nothing on the field.
the real
Nothing.
penalties, like they weren't.
Yeah, they would deserve. They would deserve, but they were not
Yeah,
on the field goals at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day. And I mean, you had a pretty decent game from Orbelin as well. Rodolfo, nothing from him yet in the
I
Champions
think
League.
he has a thing of like a hit. I don't know
I need to
what they
see it.
call it. When it's not an injured, but
I need to see it, man. I need to see it. Rodolfo, I need to, bro. I need to.
Rodolfo Pizarro Champions League hat trick.
And
You
that's my
can
bad.
see it.
Actually, it was the Europa League.
Ah,
My
no,
bad.
Champions.
The champions?
No, it's Europa because it's Brighton. You're right.
Yeah, my fault. We said that on the other one too. We said champions. It was the Europa League, but still,
Yeah.
we need to see it. We need to see him in Europe. So that concludes kind of our performances for the week. Let's go ahead and talk about who was the player of the match week.
I mean, I would like to say there's someone else, but it's Santi breaking Amsterdam. Like he was amazing.
He can't be taking this award every week, man. Like I don't know. We need someone to step up.
Lozano has to step up, and I think Edson and Montes are gonna be shining, especially once you can actually say they win and they were, the team wasn't shit. That's gonna be the point.
He was having almost some MVPs, like fan voted MVPs, Edson Alvarez, with some of the past games. But right now, with this Liverpool, Man City, it's tough. It's tough. It's a big team. But yeah, hopefully Lozano can start matching Santi and maybe even try to tie him up for that leading scorer title, second leading scorer title. But what was your favorite match of the week, man?
I would like to say, I mean, the classic. It has to be the classic from the Eredivisie. Is the biggest match of the year for them. And
it has to be. Shout out, honorable mention to AK Athens versus Brighton. Obviously, we had to at least mention it.
Yeah, that's a fine choice as well.
Like, yeah, if you want to see that kind of like masterclass coaching, but anytime like you make a whole stadium cry, like you make a whole stadium just literally just throw a tantrum, you need to put it up there, man. Like you have to enjoy that. It's a classic. It's a rivalry. It's probably like there's
it's the most important game of the season
for them
in the Eredivisie.
So now we just have to do the return leg, see how that one goes.
Yeah. Oof.
Part 2.
There right now in the Eredivisie there can be away fans in the games. That's how bad it has been lately.
No, I still remember from that season where Santi Gimenez's girlfriend snuck in to the away game, and people were saying like, "Yo, like never do it again in your life. Like never do it again in your life." Yeah, so it's like it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous out there.
Yeah. It's starting to look like Atlas Querétaro.
Hey, that's a different story right there. You find anything extra this week, man?
I mean, nothing really. I have been watching a little bit of Liga MX. Today I was watching Necaxa San Germain kick Santos ass. I mean, it was amazing. They scored 5 goals, and every one of those 5 goals was either scored or assisted by an under 23 player. It was really good. Like Necaxa has been playing with a lot of youngsters, unlike when Lozano was coaching it, and it's the first win. It's their first win of the season, but it's kind of good to hear, especially since Juarez has been like benching all of the youngsters that they started the season with. So, I mean, it's cool.
It's a good change of pace. It's a good change. It's like you have a team that's at least one team, a jornada that's actually coming at you with some youngsters. At the very least, one team. So you guys know you can find us everywhere. Tacos en Europa. All social media. Just look us up and you can find us. You can see this episode on Monday when you listen to us, and we will see you again next week to talk about more European football. Thank you guys for listening. I am Jorge.
My name is Edgar.
You guys have a great week.